Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Ann Metcalf. Thank you for joining me on my Sunday morning conscious eating, conscious living chat. And a little change in time this morning because I've got a my Ayurvedic cleanse check-in. It's been amazing. 4 days of lots of beets, apples, and very little fat. And today I start with adding ghee butter just in the morning and no fat for the rest of the day. So I'll let you know in a week how it's going. Actually, I feel pretty good, full of energy this morning. So I something's working. It's detoxing from the different organs of my body, and I get to eat. I get to eat, play, and thrive. And so let's get started with the chat. And this morning, it's about cardamom or cardamom. It depends on what part of spelling seems to change. So it's a new spice that's I've kind of introduced to my eating palette, partly because of um, this change of eating I've been playing with since the fall actually. And thank you to Andrea Haley Sankaran. She's my Ayurvedic nutrition coach and the cooking. She's also a chef. And so I'm just enjoying this play with my food in the kitchen and being mindful of when I'm eating my food. And you want to practice just short meditation, just do it with your food. You're sitting there, you're chopping different vegetables, chopping up the ginger for your ginger pickle, which is ginger, a bit of salt, and some lime juice, which is a great thing to have just before you eat, or you can have it after, or even during. So if you're forgetful, like me sometimes, I have at different times throughout my meal. And so today's chat, March 7th, 2021, marching forth. My birthday was last week. We're marching forth and spring is here. How many of you see you've got crocuses and the daffodils are up? Wow. And I know some of you are under snow. Spring's coming. It's there. The ground, the earth, everything is preparing for that nice warm season that I know so many of us are looking forward to. Cardamom. It's one of my favorite new spices. And I'm sure it wasn't part of my childhood memories of spices. They were mainly sort of the savory taste of basil, sage, Italian spices, seasoning salt, salt and pepper, just to name a few. Since the fall, when I started eating more Indian style foods, and now during my this whole year of Ayurvedic nutrition studies, I'm enjoying a whole new world of spices and loving it. The seeds have a warm, slightly pungent, and highly aromatic flavor. Apparently, I'm not sure, some people think it reminds them of camphor. And so, those of you who use cardamom, I'd love to post in the Facebook comments how you use it. The plant itself is actually native to tropical rainforest and it requires a lot of moisture and humidity, and they do not like dryness. At maturity, they can grow up to 10 feet in height in well-drained soil, and they're an understory plant, so they like to be covered. They like a bit of shade. And their cousin is ginger. So they've got these fleshy rhizomes and the lance shaped leaves, which you can see in the Facebook that I posted last night. And the plants must be 3 years old before they start to produce the seeds that we use as our spice. And the seeds are harvested in the fall. And cardamom goes into my oatmeal more often. I mix it with my cinnamon. And apparently, it's one of the best herbs for the sluggish digestion, for nausea, headache, and mucus congestion. And it moves food down, accelerates the gastric emptying, and reduces that feeling of a heavy stomach, which I talk about in a few minutes. And for those who drink masala chai, you love rice pudding or golden milk, cardamom is one of the main ingredients. And it's also used to flavor coffee in the Middle East and tea in India. And the ancient Egyptians, they chewed it to whiten their teeth and sweeten their breath. So there you go. And I was just thinking the other night, I'm not sure if I've actually ever had toothpaste with cardamom in it. So that might be an interesting thing to research. And so again, it's used in sweet dishes and savory dishes. And it's also used in soaps, creams, and perfumes. And it's a favorite in the cuisines of the Middle East, North Africa, Scandinavia, and Finland. It tends to be one of the more expensive spices because I think part of it is it needs to be harvested by hand because you don't want to burst the little pods that all the seeds are inside. Once you've lost that, you've lost the spice. And it takes several days to dry it out. And in 1 acre of land, you get about 50 up to 100 pounds of the pods are collected. And apparently, it's third in line for expensive spices, saffron and vanilla being in the top two. And maybe that's why organic vanilla is so expensive. And so, where does it come from? My first thought was India, Indonesia, and I was right actually. It originated apparently in India. And I did love looking at the history of our food and our spices. Uh, and cardamom production began in ancient times, as far back to Babylonia and Assyria, where the spice was recognized for its health benefits. I wonder what the life of a trader was like 3 centuries BCE, traveling along those routes to bring spices to new markets. Hmm. The ancient Greeks thought highly of cardamom, and physicians Dioscorides and Hippocrates wrote about its therapeutic properties, identifying it as a digestive aid. In medieval times, Venice became the principal importer of cardamom into the West, along with pepper, cloves, and cinnamon. And in China, it was called Amomum, was an important part of the economy during the Song dynasty from 960 to 1279. And in 1150, cardamom made its way from India and China into Yemen. So it was introduced in the Middle East way back then. And then later in the 16th century, the Portuguese became involved in trade. And when it conquered the west coast of India, um, the industry did not actually become a major interest on a wider scale to Europeans until the 19th century. So many of our spices have traveled the globe. Production. Guatemala leads the world in production. And now many of these Central American countries are big producers because they've got the climate um, to grow it easily. And India and other Asian countries, and Tanzania in Central Africa. And what kind of cardamom should I use? All right, it comes in different varieties. There's the black and the green. And there is a white variety, but apparently that's been bleached somehow. Maybe extra time in the sun, I'm not sure. The green ones, I think, are more popular. Um, I think so. And the black ones apparently are grown in Nepal. It could be other countries, but that was one that was mentioned. And the green cardamom has this herbal, citrusy, slightly sweet flavor and used again in sweet and savory dishes. And black cardamom's a bit stronger and it's got a menthol-like flavor and used mainly in savory dishes. And does it have any health benefits? Of course it does. Cardamom is a great source of vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, and potassium. Although I'm not quite sure how much you'd have to have in order for you to get all those elements into your body. But you know what? You play with the spices, you play with the food. That's why you have a diversity, a variety of food, and a variety of spices in your diet so that you can collect all those elements that you need from different sources. And that's what makes it fun in the kitchen. It's in the same family as ginger and turmeric, And they're all great at balancing your digestion and combating nausea and fighting motion sickness. And some chew on the pods like gum because of their minty flavor. It contains phytochemicals that have anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. Perfect for what we need right now. And as we move forward to maintain that health for our longevity and just to keep that vital energy within us. And apparently, it was recorded in Sanskrit text as a medicinal herb, and it's still used in Ayurvedic medicine. It apparently what it does, it accelerates the gastric emptying rate, meaning it relaxes the stomach valves to prevent your food from entering the small intestine. It relaxes your muscle tissue, and it also has a calming antispasmodic, which is useful in colic, asthma, and even the throbbing pain of a headache, which is caused by a spasm in blood vessels. Aromatic herbs like cardamom and peppermint are so important. And at Joyful Belly, they consider cardamom to be the missing seventh taste of Ayurveda. Thank you, John, from joyfulbelly.com. The main activity of cardamom can be attributed to the volatile oils, which give it the distinct flavor. Pardon me. That's my little reminder to have my hot water every 15 minutes on the cleanse that I'm on. It's quite a challenge having a little sip of hot water every 15 minutes. I challenge you to try it for a morning or even a couple of hours. Anyway, it just helps the digestive process. And the oils promote the absorption and the elimination of gas while improving digestive function and just providing natural support to the intestine. So let me know how you use cardamom in your kitchen. Share your recipes. I'd love to hear how you use it. And yeah, post it on my Facebook page. And we're just about there, the end of our little chat on cardamom. I look forward to exploring some of the other spices of the Indian cooking. No wonder I loved India when I was there 3 years ago. I just love the food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And yeah, it was just a beautiful part of the whole trip. And meeting the Dalai Lama, well, that was the highlight of my trip. So, on to Manifest Your Magnificence by Susan Howson and Mike Piloto, Tom Brown for the art. Now, let's see. Okay, blue. Okay, what have we got today? It says, I am infinite. We are. We are infinite beings. And it says, the sky is the limit for what I can do. So, we are all infinite. And from the cards, The Wisdom of the Heart by Ava Goulet and Bodhi Simpson. And let's see, green seems to be calling this morning. And that says, I have compassion for myself. Whoa, that's a big one. Having compassion for yourself. Because when you can do that for yourself, you can do it for others. Really, really important to have compassion and grace. And can you laugh at your little mistakes? And what you do? Yeah, have compassion. And again, I'm still looking for people, men and women over 50, still in business, maybe looking to retire, and you want to feel your best when you talk to your clients, to your partners, even within your family, and you want that clear mind, and then just that feeling of health and vitality, then contact me. rosiesjoy11@gmail.com. We'll have a 20-minute, I call it my market research, so that I can make this next course that I'm offering probably in the spring the best it can be. and to help you. And I support you all the way. 6 weeks of playing with food. And yes, there will be some Ayurvedic because I'm learning that, oh, that their whole understanding of our body and the food is so important for us to be healthy for now. And for all you young at hearters, you spring chickens, remember age is just a thought. It's just a mindset, and we can change that. So now we're just going to finish with a quote from Rumi. I am content to walk alone, but to walk in company with others is vigor and adds vigor and passion to the journey. Blessings. Thank you for joining me. Eat healthy, enjoy some nature today, smile, and enjoy your day. Thank you. Until we meet again.